Hello everybody and welcome back to an all-important video that you have been missing out on for almost a year at this point, probably 2 years, and that is the updated Trafalgar video. It's going to be telling you the polling exactly on every single state that you even care about. Of course, we are looking at the map, a map that is new and improved on YapMS, and on top of that, I'm going to provide to you this Hawaii, red Hawaii, that was just a diversion to get your attention. Now that you're paying attention, we're working off a floor of 45 Republican seats and 45 Democrat seats. So it's going to be a competitive election, so to speak, in the midterms. And I'm a big proponent of the Republican Party, of course. So I'm going to be breaking down what Trafalgar, aka the best pollster in America, and what they say in regards to this election, okay? Now let me cover Arizona first because I love Arizona. I'm an Arizonan, of course. Now if you were to look over here, you'd notice right off the bat that you're going to be looking at a state where it's going to be very diverse. It's going to be very contentious. It's going to be the most important state in regards to the election because I live here and I matter. Obviously, my life matters. And so we're going to be reading off what the poll says right here. And it says that Mark Kelly is leading candidate Blake Masters, who's really rich, by the way. He's leading him 46.6 to 45.4 with 5.3 undecided. Now, of course, we have Mark Victor, who I've never even heard of, with 2.7% of the vote. I highly doubt that the Libertarian will get that much of the vote. And if he does, I will have to personally hit him with the poll noodle or something because I just very much despise the Libertarian Party on virtually every grounds they stand on. They are cringe. Now, when we're discussing Blake Masters, he is a pretty viable candidate in my opinion. But then when I look at my Gen X parents and, they're watching TV. I'm walking by, I'm in the kitchen, and I'm looking at the TV, and it's a bunch of negative ads. You're looking at the Mexican channels, and I see these because I'm Latino, and I see that the Spanish ads are negative towards Masters for obvious reasons. And then you're looking at the American, obviously English ads, and I see these everywhere, by the way. And you see these ads everywhere, like I said, and they're all negative towards Masters. So it's not looking good on the ad front. He does not look good in that respect. That being said, though, his momentum is going to carry him to a victory, in my opinion. But Trafalgar has him losing by a tilt margin. That's okay. He'll bring it back. Trust the plan. So, yeah. So right now, it's a very wishy-washy election. It could go either way. I hope that astronaut man loses. I hope he loses just like he's lost every hair follicle he's had over the last 50 years. And hopefully we can make Arizona great again. Or not. Anyways, going on to the next thing. And that is going to be the Arizona... the next thing. Now, if you guys recall, Trafalgar has Biden's approval rating at like -15 or -12, something like that. So it's not going to be looking good if somebody's going to be running as a generic Democrat. So keep this in mind when you go on to the next polls. So the next one that we are going to be examining will be the Nevada Senate race, okay? Now, as we all know, it's a huge gamble as to whether or not your candidate will win in Nevada. And a lot of people are going to be asking me, well, haven't you been following Twitter? Blah, 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 blah. No, I don't follow politics, okay? This is going off of pure instinct and my love for Trafalgar as of 2 years ago, okay? Now, as of my high school knowledge, I know that Adam Laxalt is a very electable candidate, very presentable, photogenic, and that is no homo. I do not mean that in any particular way. I'm just saying that he's a normal, standard person. And we need these generic Republicans because we need the MAGA vote and the establishment Republican vote. And then we're going to be able to get enough independents so that we can win states that went to Hillary in 2016 and to Biden, if you know what I mean, a couple of years ago. Right? Anyways, so Adam Laxalt is leading over Catherine Cortez Masto, which is a stupid last name for the record. I don't like it. So you have this half Italian, half Hispanic lady who is going to be losing to the Chad Adam Laxalt by 4% more or less, 3.8% precisely. Now we have a vote of 2.9% on other. I don't know what that means. It's green, maybe Green Party, Turd Party. I don't know what that is. Neil Scott, we don't know who this bozo is. Again, Libertarian, L for Libertarian, L, loss. They always lose. When has a Libertarian ever won an election? And don't go to Ballotopedia to prove me wrong because you are just proving my point in it being correct that it's so obscure that you have to look it up. Anyway, undecided vote, 4.5%, meaning that it is theoretically possible for the Democrat to win at this rate, but it probably won't be. So at that point, I'm going to give it to a lean Republican, okay? Nevada looks pretty promising for the Republicans, and a lot of it is because the Nevada economy is based off of casinos. We love the casinos. We love the Keno Casino. We love all sorts of things. And, personally, I do think that the economic issues are more important, obviously, in the state of Nevada, given the fact that again, they're reliant on casinos or reliant on consumer culture more than any other state. So because of that fact, we're going to be looking at an outsized anti-Biden independent vote in Nevada. So because of that, we're going to have an even 46-46 delegation so far. So let's keep looking at the polls. Going forward, we're going to be exiting out of that Nevada thing because I don't care for it now. You're done. You're used up whore to me. Okay, I don't like it. We're looking at Wisconsin, this new poll, new as in a couple weeks ago, and we're looking at Ron Johnson, Dirty Johnson, who is very hit or miss on the issues. To be completely honest, he countersignals Trump to the point where I'm like, dude, this guy's a douche, and not in the cool way. So but he's electable. He does really well in the WoW counties. Now, if you're a Red Eagle fan, which I am, by the way, you're going to be able to tell what the WoW county is. I forget what it's called. It's like Washington, Ozaki, and whatever the heck else. I don't really care. But the point being is that suburban appeal is higher with Ron Johnson, and he has outperformed Donald Trump in 2 subsequent elections. Given that fact, with the basis of Donald Trump's 2 elections and Ron Johnson's 2010, 2016 elections, you can tell that he's more electable than Trump in the state of Wisconsin. Plus, the red wave effect will easily get Ron Johnson the win. Over here, we have a more narrow result than you'd expect. We have Mandela Barnes, who's black, by the way. Just pointing that out because Mandela, as in Nelson Mandela, maybe that's the inspiration for the name. I don't care. The point being is that Ron Johnson is leading her 48.7% to 46.5%. That is important to me because that's a 2.2% difference, although the undecided vote is over double that difference. So it's going to be pretty contentious. That being said, I will give it a lean victory to Ron Johnson. Unironically, by election time, I think he'll win by like 7, okay? So, trust the plan. Patriots are in control in Wisconsin, and we're going to see him being elected, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, we're moving on to another state. Whatever is next up in the totem pole is what's going to be covered subsequently. We're looking at the Washington Senate race. Of course, we are looking at 2 women, by the way. It's going to be Patty Murray and Tiffany Smiley. Tiffany Smiley sounds like a dentist assistant, right? Anyways, so we have a lead of 2.1 or 2.2% for Patty Murray, 48.7 to 46.5, with an undecided differential of 4.8%. So it does look, according to Trafalgar, that Washington is up for grabs. Obviously, I don't believe that for a second. That would be cool if a Republican won. And a lot of people might say, oh, but, Tiffany Smiley, she's to the left of Trump, blah, 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 she's pro-gay. I don't care. I don't really care, okay? Virtually any Republican is better than any Democrat. And, the time for the blue dog Democrats, the conservative Democrats, those are bygone, okay? If you're talking about who's the conservative Democrat now? Joe Manchin? Joe Manchin's clout? Have you ever heard of Joe Manchin in the last, 6 months? Dude, the guy's irrelevant. Fuck him. I don't care. So the point being is that we're going to give the Democrat here a lean victory over Tiffany Smiley. It's a very cute name, Tiffany Smiley. She can't be that ugly. Should we look up what Tiffany Smiley looks like? I'll look it up. Okay, we're looking it up because I'm curious. She's not that bad, actually. Is she smiling in this? Are you smiling, lady? You know what? Not bad. Now, of course, I'm not going to be like the average Twitter conservative, and I'm not going to say I'm going to smash. But if we're working off of the Senate delegation, then I'm not going to be picky. So, that's going to be an upgrade over Patty Murray. I can tell you that. So there you go. So that's that Washington Senate right there taken care of. Now let's look at the other election, and it's going to be the Senate for Colorado. Now a lot of my friends keep bitching at me, O'Dea. I have no idea who that is, for the record. But anyways, so Trafalgar has this going 48.6% for Michael Bennett, who's a very generic person, just existing, very white bread. Anyway, Jeff O'Dea, or whatever his name is, 42.6%, so he's down 6. And again, the Libertarian, L, by the way, 3.6%, other at 0.2, which is dismal, and an undecided rating of 5.0. So if you were to add every single undecided person, Jeff O'Dea, or whatever, would still lose. So if that's the case, we're just going to give this a likely blue, okay? It's going to be pretty safe. Colorado is long gone, and that's due a myriad of reasons. Chiefly, it would be the suburban trend. And then Hispanic immigration at a second or third on the priority there. But anyway, so that sucks. No pickup opportunity. It seems like 2014 is the closest you're going to reasonably get to flipping Colorado. Anyway, we're going to be looking at the next state, and it's going to be pretty important. I can tell you what. So let's scroll up here. We're at the Senate for New Hampshire. New Hampshire is going to be an important state because it is very secular. It is very socially indifferent. So it's going to be highly contingent on Joe Biden as a popular president, as well as the economy, obviously. So we're going to be looking at the results here. Now, again, keep in mind that the Republicans do not have a deep bench in regards to New Hampshire, most likely because they're not sending their best in terms of the GOP. Too many libertarians in New Hampshire, to be frank. Now, let's go on and read this. Maggie Hassan, no Piker, is going to be at 48.2%. 3.2% over Don Bolduc, whatever his name is, Bolduc. Anyways, 45%. There you go. So he's losing by 3.2. Undecided is 3.2. So theoretically, it could be a tie. But otherwise, Maggie Hassan seems to be in the lead. So the only way that Don Bolduc, who I don't even know who that is, I just recognize the name a little bit. So the only way this flips is if the red wave carries him over, which, could very well happen. But, according to Trafalgar, that's not going to happen. Yikes. Anyways, let's go on and cover the next election. And while I'm stalling for time, why don't you comment down below what you think is going to happen in the election? Anyway, so those are the most recent polls as of a long time ago. And let's go ahead and just fill out Ohio as safe R. Tim Ryan has huge eyes in his bags or whatever, bags in his eyes. So the guy does not get enough sleep. He's anxiously waiting to get his ass reamed by J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, who knows all about shitting because of his wife being a very nice Indian lady. She would know very well how to support her husband into the complete destruction of Tim Ryan and the Democrat Party of Ohio, which means that we are going to get a safe R in Ohio. Trust the plan. Patriots are in control. Chubby Republicans are in control. J.D. Vance. All right. Anywho, we have New Carolina. No, it's North Carolina. North Carolina, home of a pretty shitty basketball team, I think, and football team. We are going to be looking at the state of North Carolina. Now, this state is going to go to Ted Budd, who's probably the best well-rounded Republican running, who really matches his state really well. I think he'll win by like 5 or 6 or 7, so we'll put it at likely. It's a very good state. The demography of North Carolina is very favorable to the Republicans in a red wave. The suburbs are not as bad as Virginia, for instance. So given the fact that Youngkin won, I think that Ted Budd can win, and he's a better person, obviously, than Youngkin in regards to politics. Anyways, we have 3 states left. We are going to be talking about the state of Florida. Ron DeSantis is not running for Senate this time. He's a little chubby. I just had to point that out. So Trafalgar obviously has Rubio winning. I'll have Rubio winning by 10 over Val Demings or whoever it is. She's a very dark lady that worked for Obama, maybe, or she's a congresswoman. I don't really care. But the point being is that whoever runs against the Cuban master of Florida is going to be, besides Pitbull, obviously, no, but the second guy in control of the Cuban Republican delegation in Florida is going to be Marco Rubio, again for like the 3rd term. He's very electable, very optical. I can't really hate on the guy. He votes pretty much party line on everything, so why would I have a strong opinion on him? And oh wow, he was anti-Trump, but it's like, well, so was everybody, so whatever. Anyways, we're going to be doing the state of Pennsylvania because, a lot of people care about it for some reason, and we're going to be having who's running for this election? Fudge Popsicles. God dang it. So let's go down and we'll look for the Pennsylvania Senate election because, it was Mehmet Oz over Betterman. Yes, that's what it was. Well, obviously Mehmet Oz will win by a lean margin over in Pennsylvania because, again, demographically, it's very torn. Urban, rural, what have you, suburb. But at the same time, we're looking at Mehmet Oz, who's a very optical, very articulate, quasi-white guy who Islamic characteristics provide him a little bit of cover over the racism stuff, and he has a proven track record of being a third-rate celebrity and being rich and being a doctor, so my healthcare and shit. So given that, he seems to be a very competent person to win the election here, and on top of that, he's going to get the Trump vote. And I'm recording this on a Tuesday, but Mehmet Monday, it gives him plenty of meme potential, meme magic. So given this fact, I will give Mehmet Oz the win over John Fetterman, who's very ugly, by the way. Very ugly, by the way. Now, let's go to the last election I'm going to be discussing today, and that's going to be the great state of Georgia. The sweet state of Georgia. Anyways, so Georgia is a state that has been moving left. I'm trying to say a big word to sound smart. Vociferously. Is that it? Yeah, anyway. So the point being is that, it's been trending blue a lot. And, another problem that we see with the state of Georgia is that it is increasingly getting more blue in the suburban area in particular. And, before the blue parts were like the black parts, but now it's the urban areas, the suburbs, and the black parts. So, all these coincide into it trending very left. The problem with that being is that obviously we're looking at an election where we need a lot of Senate seats so that we can stop the Brandon administration. And so if that's the case, we're going to be looking at a Senate election where Herschel Walker is going to have to take the reins and beat the shit out of her Raphael Warnock because he's a radical liberal and because we are running a former UFC fighter and running back for the Vikings and Cowboys. And so we're going to expect him to pound the rock of Raphael Warnock's face into the fucking concrete, metaphorically, and we're going to have him win the state of Georgia by a tilt margin, okay? This is mainly due to the circumstances around his candidacy. There's a lot of controversy, but then again, he has a lot of goodwill. He's one of the good ones, so to speak, and that's a euphemism for many things, including but not limited to the fact that he's a very good football player, and that's going to help him in the collegiate football areas over here. So he has a lot of goodwill over there. Heisman winner, by the way, I'm pretty sure. So he's a great guy overall. I like him a lot. Let's not talk about his son. Again, there's a lot of great men with very sussy relatives, including but not limited to Patrick Mahomes as well. We all know about Jackson, his little brother. So, Herschel Walker can get a pass, okay? So given that fact, we're going to be talking about how we are going to have a 52-seat Republican Senate, according to Trafalgar, and this is a very accurate representation of what's going to happen this fall, coming up soon, in about a month. So anyways, guys, I hope you approved of this Trafalgar video, and at the end of the video, I'm going to give credit to, in particular, Matt Gagnon. Matt Gagnon is somebody I know who came up with the idea of covering Trafalgar videos first. Of course, I was the one that made it viral because I'm, who I am. And so credit to him. I guess he had the idea first. So there you go. There you go, Matt Gagnon. There's your shout out. Anywho, then the second shout out I'm going to give is Real American Politics. Real American Politics, who I've known for years at this point. Basically, he also made a Trafalgar video like a week ago, and I took that idea insofar as I remembered, oh shit, okay, this can go viral, so that's why I'm doing it. And if I use this thumbnail, it's a good thumbnail. Anyway, so credit to those guys. Now I'm doing this, and I appreciate you all for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.